Title: The Tale of a Greedy Boy. Once upon a time, in a quiet village, there lived a boy named Kay. Kay was known throughout the village for his overwhelming greed. He always wanted more than his fair share of everything. One morning, Kay's grandmother gave him a small bag of candy. She said, "Kay, this candy is a special treat, so remember to share it with your friends." But Kay, driven by his greed, didn't listen. He hid the candy away and refused to share it with anyone. Instead, he kept eating piece after piece, never thinking about anyone else. As time went by, Kay's greed grew stronger. He started taking toys from his friends without asking and kept them all for himself. His friends felt hurt and stopped playing with him. One day, Kay saw a beautiful apple tree in the village orchard. The apples were ripe and looked delicious, but there was a sign that read, "Please take only what you need." Ignoring the sign, Kay climbed the tree and picked every apple he could reach, leaving none for others. The villagers saw what he had done and were very disappointed in him. Kay continued down his path of greed, taking more and more from those around him. He even tried to steal from the village's charity bin, meant for the poorest of the poor. But the villagers had had enough of his selfishness. One evening, the villagers gathered and decided to teach Kay a serious lesson. They visited him and told him, "Kay, your greed has caused too much pain to us. It's time for you to leave this village and learn the value of kindness and sharing." Kay was shocked and begged for a second chance, but the villagers were firm. They gave him some basic supplies and sent him on his way. Kay lost everything: his home, his friends, and his reputation. As he wandered alone in the world, Kay finally understood the true cost of his greed. He missed the warmth of the village, the laughter of his friends, and the simple joy of sharing. But it was too late to go back. Kay's heart ached with regret, and he vowed to change his ways. He traveled from village to village, helping others and sharing the little he had left. Over time, he became known not as the greedy boy, but as the generous traveler. Although Kay found a new purpose in life, he could never return to his old village. The villagers had moved on, and Kay's name was only remembered as a cautionary tale of how greed can lead to losing everything. Discussion questions. How did Kay's greed impact his relationships with others in the village? Do you think the villagers were right in banishing Kay from the village? Why or why not? What warning signs did Kay receive about the consequences of his greed, and why did he ignore them? How did Kay change after leaving the village, and what motivated this change? Can you think of real-life examples where someone's greed led to negative consequences for themselves and those around them? Moral lessons. Greed leads to isolation. The story illustrates that excessive greed can isolate a person from their community, leading to loneliness and regret. Consequences of selfishness. Kay's selfish actions resulted in the loss of trust and friendships, emphasizing the consequences of prioritizing personal gain over the well-being of others. Regret and redemption. The story shows that regret can be a powerful motivator for change, and it's never too late to transform one's behavior and seek redemption. The end.